This is Admiral Biatch to base camp. It seems the stormtroopers have gone on strike, and I have no experience with this type of shit. Who should I call for help?
It's the B to the A to the D-E-R. Reconstructing the Death Star with my slick suede suit that's black like tar. Fucking you up no matter who you are.
Tell the motherfuckers about to see a dark side. Dark side. On your planet Death Star, drive by. The people rebels cause the skills ain't shit. Ain't shit.
My TIE fighter zigzag stay lit.
Oh shit! Yoda on the scene, 900-year fiend, smoking Dagobah green. Bitches on my tip like Lando on liquor.
Oh, you're just jealous cause my black dick's thicker. Yo, tell him Chewie last night I had Leia all drunk, one to do me.
Shut the fuck up, man. Leia's my sister. The only thing you're getting is a beat-off blister.
Luke, use the Force before intercourse, but Luke, don't forget, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks.
Obi-Wan, I'm the Top Gun. But you're the one hotter than both sons. They ain't shit, his head's cut up and split. He's slower than the first Pentium chip.
Shit. The one brings it worse in this fucking universe.
Rebel! You know we'll fucking win, cause we'll fight till the end.
I can feel the anger dwelling within you.
Rebel!
You also feel Vader's dick in you, biatch!
Piaciacondona. Gista magia. Bunda la gista. Canto Jabba.
Jabba, you ain't nothing but a fat-ass slug. Fake gold chains, you sorry-ass thug. Sitting in your palace with your blue-headed whore. Trapdoor to the Rancor.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. I'm a gay man's golden fantasy. Programmed for homo ecstasy. 10 million forms of gay positioning. For my golden shower, you must pay a fee. But R2D2 gives it up for free. R2D2, what's your language? Always having sex with robotic strangers.
Misa like to drink and smoke all night. Misa like to fight and fuck your wife. Misa don't care cause Misa's so dumb. Misa will fuck you with me thumb. Misa wants a Misa cause a Misa wants some. Misa wants a Misa cause a Misa wants some. Misa wants a Misa cause a Misa wants some. Misa wants some cause Misa wanna come. Yeah, boy.
Awesome sauce! Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. This is Awesome Sauce Radio. I'm your mentally undeveloped party host, the King of Swing. You know, the 1-inch wonder. You know, that's what the ladies say, and they like it like that. Blind Adam Wonders, the comic pimp. I hope you're having a blessed Tuesday where you're staying cool. Because is there hot outside? Please check it on the elderly. You know, before we start the show and bring in our guests, I want to give a shout out to exoticexpo.com. Exotic Expo is taking place October 25th, 26th, and 27th at the New Jersey Expo Center. I will be there all 3 days at the Tornado booth. Tornado the movie. There, it's coming soon. You know, I'm really looking for that. I also want to give my condolences and my respects to Sharon Doherty, who passed away over the weekend at the age of 53 from breast cancer. Sharon, thank you for the memories. Heather's, of course, the greatest movie of all time. She played Renee in Mallrats. Mallrats is the greatest of all time. Testify. She was also Brenda in 91210, of course. She was in Charm, but she'll always be Renee in Mallrats. Thank you for the memories. And teaching me that you don't need sight to have a vision. And rest in peace, Jenna. You know, like I said, it was a sad week for entertainment. We'll talk more about that a little bit when my guest comes in. But just remember, we don't need sight to have a vision. It's not what happens, what we do about it. And now, because this is Awesome Sauce Radio, we're going to bring in a very special guest. He's a content maker. He's a musician. Really, really cool dude. The thickboboski, the one, the only, Jake Swane.
What's going on, man? I got to say, on that opening video, when he said you're older than the original Pentium chip, that hit me really hard, man. I mean, you lost me at that point. That just that hit me where I live.
Actually, shout out to Ben Frame for the Star Wars gangster rap videos.
Oh yeah,
The band is called Ben Frame. They put a whole album out, and it's basically like parodies of Star Wars, Star Trek. They have this one thing where it's Chipmunks gangster rap.
oh
Run it all the presidents up to the year 2000 parrot stuff.
yeah. I am in
They
fact
put Ronald
older than the
Reagan in a
original
heavy metal
Kenny.
band.
Yeah.
It's just hysterical. Also, big shout out to the man in the chair, the Puerto Rican guy, the man who's making wheelchairs great again, JV Wheels.
I didn't know if you wanted me to come in, but
yeah, you can come in and out.
I'm here.
Like I said, just a quick shout out.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for all you do for the show. Everyone, just look up I am JB Wheels and on the internets, and you'll find him there. Love that guy. Want to do this without him? He's awesome. Jake, how have things been since the last time you've been on the show, man?
Honestly, I can't say anything profound. Just life. So I've been busy, and but I'd have to say it's kind of the same. Obviously, we're talking about Exoticas coming up, and really just kind of focusing on everything else. Getting a lot of work done around here. A lot of the personal stuff and things on the property. So busy, but nothing career-wise as far as no new developments since the last one. But obviously, we're getting ready. Fall hits.
Since the last time you've been on, or
yeah. So
you're still just doing the property work.
Yeah, I really was. I was just working on me. No,
Hey,
yeah.
you
So
know what? Nothing wrong with that. I'm, in September I'm going to be taking, some time off.
Yeah.
Just because I'm taking care of a cataract surgery to,
Okay.
bring a little bit more light into the optic eye of the retina, and I have a few other health things I want to take care of. Just because I'm now in that age bracket where your insurance, where my insurance company's calling me up for preventative. They're like, we realize you just turned 50. We need you to get a camera shoved up your ass so we can see make sure your colon's healthy.
Yeah. See, I didn't get that. I got the box. They gave me the box and they told me to shit in the box. And I don't know if I actually am supposed to shit in the box, or am I supposed to just? I don't know. I didn't open it. I haven't done it.
I would gladly shit in the box.
Yeah, I mean, I've been shitting in public mailboxes for most of my life, so it does kind of feel natural. But yeah, I hey, we all gotta have a hobby.
Okay. Is that a stubborn thing? Because
yeah, well, it starts with it all starts with a dare. I mean, how many stories start with that? Well, it started with a dare, and next thing you know, it just became a fetish, and yeah, the mailbox shitter, and but you gotta be known for something, right?
That's true. I mean, I think we did it once. There was a neighbor that me and my brother couldn't stand, so I think my younger brother, he was 13 at the time, which would have made me about 20, 21.
Yeah.
He, I think, just pooped in a dog food can and put it in the neighbor's mailbox.
I think when I was in high school, and peer pressure and all, I was driving the getaway car while somebody put a Molotov cocktail in their ex-girlfriend's mailbox, and I was the getaway vehicle. And that contrary to popular belief, a Molotov cocktail just never goes the way you think it will. So he lights this thing and he tries to put it in the mailbox, but he has to put it in there sideways. So then, we barely even got away before the whole mailbox was inflamed. And it really didn't go that well. It looked a lot better in the movies than in execution. But at least I could say I've done that. So that was a getaway car, though.
That's the most important. That's the most important role in a thing like that.
Well, you're pretty
Look
much the
out!
one
You
that
got
gets
the
all the
getaway
blame.
car.
Yeah, it's like my license plates. But I was probably 17, so I didn't think
Yeah,
that
but back
over
in
at
our
like
day, since we're not that far apart in age,
yeah.
I think it was easier to get away with that type of shit
Yeah,
than it would be
probably.
today.
Yeah, probably. Because I remember because we had to, drive around because like I said, the thing was on fire before we even like started driving away. It really didn't go as planned. And so we drove back by the other way and like the whole family standing out on the lawn trying to look at every car driving by, just kind of mugging everyone trying to figure out who did it. So yeah, we're just driving back by in front of the house, just you know,
Yeah, but like I
returning to the
said,
scene of
back
the crime.
in the early '90s, you didn't have door cams and
No, they didn't have Ring doorbells or anything like
yeah,
that.
they didn't have any, you know, like I said, a lot easier to do that type of shit than it would be today. Today that you'd get like 3 doorbell alerts.
Yeah.
You have to make sure the door cam was like killed.
Well, and at the time I was driving a 71 Ford Maverick, so let's face it, I wasn't getting away from anybody.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. That was my first car, a Ford Maverick.
That's awesome.
But hey, I paid for it. I bought it with my money, so oh well. I was proud of that whole thing.
Yeah. So what are you planning to? Are you making any plans for any type of networking and or filming at Exotica?
I don't have any shoots booked for Exotica yet. I'm still kind of there's there's one model I'm working with that I might shoot when I'm there that weekend, and she's kind of at the forefront right now. So she's first choice. I'm not really trying to book anything past that. Um, I know that in the past it's very difficult to try to book shoots that weekend because there's so many. I said so many. I was about to say so many moving parts, but I realized, yeah, yeah.
There's rubies. There's vaginas.
There's so many moving
There's
parts.
asses. All the good moving parts, sir.
But I didn't want to because the last time I had scheduled, I had 2 books, or I had 2 books. I had 2 shoots booked for the Vegas weekend, and then they canceled on me like a day or 2 before the event. So I don't really make any. I try not to make any concrete plans out there and just kind of just see how it goes. But yeah, I might be going. I might be doing a shoot in that weekend, but honestly, that weekend, I don't. I think I'd rather just kind of enjoy it and just hang out as opposed to doing shoots. I do those
I guess
elsewhere.
I have one shoot with a friend if we can coordinate our schedule because it would just be easier for me and her to do it there.
Right.
Than having to try to figure out travel arrangements and all that.
Oh yeah.
Since I know she's definitely going. She's a member of the Tornado family anyway.
Right.
So just a matter of trying to dot I's and cross T's and come up with a price that's fair for both of us. And
well, that sounds good.
See, she's even read the script at this point that I sent her.
Yeah. I read through it too. I don't know if there's been any revisions since I read through it, but yeah, that'd be cool. That'd definitely be cool. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun weekend out there, hanging with the crew, with the Sugar Wafer Tornado crew again. That would be a lot of fun.
Sugar Wafer, Tornado, Milky Marbles, Slot Coin, Paranormal.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
Sanitizer, Sassy Cat. I know I forget the Gonads. I know there's something I'm missing in there. I'm sure Alien Rob will fill me in tomorrow, but
yeah.
I haven't spoken to him. I only spoke to him like very briefly last week.
Yeah.
See any updates on the Tornado front? for the sugar wafer front?
I haven't gotten any updates from that. I know he's working on it. Actually, he was really helpful. He gave me a lot of good advice the other day on promotional materials and things like that. I actually did a flyer for this podcast. I would just wanted to put something together. So I learned a new technique in my video editing software. I'm really excited about that. As far as cropping the background out of video without having to have the green screen set up, it's always traditionally been, you needed to be in front of green screen. Well, the technology has evolved to the point where you can actually just, as long as you do a 1 second, at least 1 second run of the background before you enter it, then now I use Final Cut Pro for my video editing. And now it does a really good job of removing you from the background, just doing that. And it's fascinating. So I did one, I was on my skateboard and I was just going around the bowl at the skate park. And so what I did is I cut myself out of it and um, then removed it and then masked it out and then put your show information on the bowl of the skate park as if it were graffiti and then put myself back on top of it so where I'm skating over all the information.
Nice.
I was kind of proud of that. I mean, maybe that's not exactly advanced level, but to me it was. I was pretty excited about that.
Sounds awesome, man.
So Rob was giving me some good advice on that. So and then so yeah, so we were chatting the other day. We didn't really talk about the project. We were just talking about my own needs because it's all about me, I guess.
Yeah, no, like I said, we were catching up because we haven't spoken almost a month, which is long for the two of us.
Life just happens sometimes.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
so we were catching up.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone attending their first Exotica? JV wants to came in for this one as well, but more than merrier.
I would just say, I think from what I hear, where most people make a mistake is just, mind your manners.
Yep.
These are real people, and yes, they're in the trade. Yes, they're content creators, but they're real people. I mean, just mind your manners, and you don't need. It's not like you have to have some legendary game. Just talk to these performers like you talk to anybody else you meet. And then that's when I say just mind your manners. Strip club rules. Don't lay your hands on anybody. And just enjoy it. It can be overwhelming. There's definitely a lot to it. You get sensory overload. But
without a shadow of a doubt. My whole thing is just like what Jake said: mind your manners. Be as respectful as possible. At the end of the day, everyone there is a human being.
Yeah.
If you're going there to get laid, don't come at all. You're
yeah, that is not gonna happen.
No, once a year there's and if you think and let's see that, and if you go in there thinking that you could become a porn star, here's an idea: shoot something with a friend of yours before you go there, and show it to people in the industry. And instead of being thinking you're gonna get your big break that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, to go to Jake's point, don't go in there expecting, oh my God, we took photos, we conversated, now we get to be like best friends, because that doesn't happen.
We had a connection. I felt
we
something
had a connection.
We had a connection, and now we're gonna be.
Granted, you do meet people, and it's fantastic. But again, to go off of Adam's point as well, if you're expecting to just be a porn star after, no, you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Be able to be like, hey, I shoot too. Do you have advice or any? Would you like? I don't know if the conversation goes this far, but can you review my work, see how I'm doing? Because if you're not going there to network from a work standpoint, this isn't for you.
Well, and
or if you're not going there, if you're going there strictly as a fan, just like I said, be a fan.
Don't inappropriately touch them unless you get somebody like Kendra Lust that goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Touch my ass." You know what I mean? Because that happened to me. My first time going, I was very I didn't know what I was doing, And then she goes, "I'm sitting on you. What are you doing? Touch my ass." And I'm like, "Okay, boop."
Like,
You
okay.
know what I mean? So like, don't just go like, "Oh, I've seen your stuff. Like, let's find a way to shoot that with me." And I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
Well, and Tay Lit, and he's a content creator out of Atlanta, and he gave me a lot of good advice. One of the things he said is he says, when you start talking to these modeling agencies, if you're not established, they're going to look at you as someone who's just tricking with their phone. For the most part, you're a trick. You're a client. You just have your phone in your hand. You're not a content creator. And I gotta say, okay, so my first Exotica experience, I gotta tell you my story as a male content creator because it's a different world for us.
Yeah, please share
Um,
that because
Yeah, go
that's
ahead, man.
it's totally different. Because what I wanted to do, and I talked to Alex, and we both know Alexandra at Exotica.
oh, I
Um,
love her.
she's
Alex
so
is
awesome,
fucking amazing.
Love her.
and but she gave me some good advice, and she says, in this industry, there are no shortcuts. There is no way to sidestep just putting in your dues. There is no there. No, don't get me wrong. There can be shortcuts for ladies. You meet the right person, and sometimes you can just get jettisoned straight to the top, and that's awesome. But she says, especially for the male performers, she says, there's not a shortcut. You just got to put in your dues, and that's why the first time I went there, I actually got a booth. So I was there with my booth and my banner and everything. Now it's so weird as a man because nobody goes to Exotica to see dudes. Let's just be honest.
Right.
Especially, I'm a straight guy. I'm in the straight market. I'm in the hetero market. So I just like nobody really knows what to say to guys like me. I met some really cool people, and it was awesome. But Mars Black, um, he Mars was out there, and he had another booth. Mars Black Triple X. Um,
Name sounds familiar, but
well, he does the take a ride on Mars thing, and that's his thing. He uses that rocket emoji a lot on a lot of his marketing materials.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a cool dude.
well, I got to say he's actually he's become I would go so far as to call him a friend. He's given me some amazing advice. But one of the things he did, which is really cool, is this can be a dog eat dog business. And I was that guy that's like, listen, I don't know if I'm going to be in this LA scene. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in this industry, but I need you guys to know who I am. I need you guys to see my face. I need you to see my name. You may never see me again, but either way, I'm going to be here. So I was there with my booth. Um, and Mars came up and greeted me. He's like, man, he says like, I'm like the only other dude here at Exotica who's got his own booth, and we understand the value of that. He's like, you and I understand the value of just getting seen and getting known. It's like, yeah, I just need you to know who I am. And yes, I'm the new guy to the scene. I need you to know who I am. But Mars, he's also another veteran, so he and I were just chatting, and we clicked really well. And he's actually been really helpful. He was an AVN nominee this last season, so that's might be where you've heard his name because he was nominated for an AVN.
no,
He's
and
trying to win it this year.
I went on his Twitter profile and I definitely have seen him in
Yeah,
passing before, so I
yeah.
know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
But he was
really is a cool dude. I've had conversations with him at after parties.
yeah. And he was just really helpful to me, like just kind of taking me in under his wing and just giving me some I want to say ins and outs of the industry. Man, it's like everything I say is just yeah, it's a euphemism. But no, he was just really good dude. He's been really helpful, and I continue to chat with him, and I love seeing his success because he's just doing better and better every time I look. So I'm excited for him. He just did one Mile High shoot. So I guess he worked with a swinger couple, and I guess he's a pilot, or they have a plane. They have a company, and I'd have to point you to it. I don't want to misrepresent, but yeah, he did some Mile High content, which is really badass. I was like, man, that's good for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, one of these that's one of my goals because I do have a friend who's a pilot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention it because he's actually a real pilot with a real company, and
right. Yeah.
But if there's one way I can get that to work, I would jump at that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, one thing I'm also gonna add on that is like, if you're coming in to shoot, make sure you shoot. Like, don't try to be like, oh, this guy wants to shoot, and then there's a discourse and like, why are you shooting with him? Why are you? No, y'all have to be open. If there's a shoot opportunity, you gotta take it. You can't just obviously like don't look up the guy, make sure his stuff is like tested and all of that. But as soon as somebody goes, we might have a shoot. Don't try to back them out of it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Especially,
Well,
Like, just pat them on the back, be like, "Good going, dude."
yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know,
Don't step on other people's success, and
right.
that happens
Yeah,
a
man.
lot
Just
out
be
here.
like, we're all brothers, a band of brothers in this, band of
Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
Well, Wreck-It Ralph, he's another guy who gave me a lot of good advice. And so a lot of times, newcomers in the industry like me, we go after these big name artists and we want to, obviously we're all clout chasing. That's what this business is about. So I would try to book with, with well-known artists. Obviously that's, your shortcut. You're trying to get the fast track, and use that person's cred. But, I myself was not established. And, I can still say in many ways there's so much farther I want to go. But he was saying that a lot of people new in the business, you want to shoot with this big name talent, thinking it's gonna bring more attention to your footage, and that name alone will sell. And he says just having somebody with a big name is not enough to get your stuff to succeed. He says you just got to keep just grinding. You just got to keep putting in your dues. You got to make talent and really make a little bit of name for yourself before you go looking after your LA stars and trying to get that.
You really do. Like it's not everything is fast track. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to be as away from the exotica scene as I can,
yeah.
but I've given advice before because I've had I guess somebody that had a booth that is now trying to perform, and I'm like, you're saying you're getting big names, but that's not what it's about. Sometimes it's about
Right.
finding that one person that's willing to shoot and possibly doing 6, 7 scenes, editing them
And
out,
that's so
releasing
much
them, and
better.
then building traction that way.
Like I
I
said,
would love to
I
have a
just been,
regulars.
for my own
Oh yeah,
personal story, I just been lucky
yeah.
that, you know, I was a part of a very memorable Howard Stern experience that people still remember to this day.
Yeah.
Which I
And see
still
And
that
have
that's
to
awesome.
point people to this day because they don't believe the story. But I'm like, well, like dude was on Howard Stern. But anyway,
Well, and
yeah,
that's why, and I got to
and
that point
like I
where,
said, I for myself, I've been at every Exotica since its inception in New Jersey.
yeah, that's a lot.
You know, I just, I mean, I'm legendary for 3 years straight, falling asleep in the Sheraton lobby to the point where they just left me there. I'm like, oh, he missed this. I said, hey, I missed my train. Can I just, boom? They're like, don't worry, you know.
Yeah.
You'll have to find a way to pay whether you get whether it's stand up, pot, whatever it is in the arts and entertainment. There are no real shortcuts.
There's really not. I think it's human nature. We're all
You
going to
gotta
look
find a
for
way
it.
to pay your dues and be like, and just eventually get one person to be like, in my
Well,
case, it's the blind guy. All right, yeah.
The frustrating point is, you want to say, hey, there, you have to pay your dues. There's no shortcuts. And then you see somebody who got the shortcut, and then you almost feel like, damn. So there's going to be that anomaly. There are going to be those people that go straight to the front of the line. They
Yeah,
know
well,
somebody, or they
in every
network
walk
their
of
way
life.
in.
I believe
But
that's in every walk of life.
yeah, and that's so, and I kind of shifted path, and at this point, I'm not as interested in making a name for myself. I don't want to be famous. That really is because one of the things I learned in the music industry is they don't sell success; they sell fame. Because to a lot of people, the fame is more important than the money. So you got these bands like TLC who just got totally ripped off by a record label because the record label was promising them fame, and they did get fame, but ultimately they were broke. They made nothing. So there's a difference between fame and success. I don't want fame. I don't need you to know who I am. I just want to make a couple of bucks, and that's always kind of been my mentality at that point. Just want
one
to create.
one thing I would say to you as well, like sure you're a performer, but also try to get into a different route as well. So like if you're learning Final Cut Pro, for instance,
Oh yeah.
learn how to edit your own scenes and then
Oh
see
yes.
if you get good enough, be like, hey, do you need an editor? I'm also available. Tell me what you need, and then we'll. So just try to, even though you want to essentially go the performer route, try to open
Right.
as many doors as you possibly can, so that way your name is attached to something. Because the
Right, and
more,
that's true. I didn't think about the editing aspect of it.
like,
I'm getting pretty good at it.
yeah, I mean, I would love to learn Final Cut and like get on that editing standpoint because I, want to definitely bring back like the podcasting and TikTok edits and streaming again. So I
Oh
gotta,
yeah.
by next year, like I gotta go full force with it. But yeah, just like since you're learning Final Cut, like learn it and then shit.
That's
I
a good
wouldn't
point. I didn't
say,
think about the editing aspect. That never occurred to me because I just edit my own
yeah,
stuff.
I wouldn't say porn is easy editing, but my mind goes to, okay, if you're gonna start a scene this way, then you go to that, and then I just try
Right.
to sequence it in my head. But of course, it obviously is a lot more. But yeah, just try to open as many doors as you possibly can.
Well, and I started doing keyframing, and this was kind of fascinating because I worked with models who have varying levels of discretion that they need, and
Yeah,
Virginia Flowers, she's one of the models I shoot with. Um, she wants limited recognizability, and so we've found our medium. So I do keyframing, and I was a particular one. It was a head scene, and you wouldn't know. And they say the best editing is when you don't know it was editing, but I was able to frame by frame adjust the keyframe and basically just slide the frame around in the
right.
view. And it looked like I was just perfectly moving the camera with her. It's because I don't like blur outs. I can't stand that because to me blur out just totally ruins the vibe.
And then,
Um,
yeah, like I said, the everything I've seen, I'm starting to see a little bit from here and there. And my good friend Abby Cutie is in this. I don't know. There's something about masked performers that kind of just weirds me out just a little bit.
yeah,
Amazon,
yeah.
stop! Amazon, shut up!
Well, and that's what Alex Adams and he pointed out that just own the content, just be your own producer, own the content because we
Yeah.
learned that in the record label or in the record industry, and that's why I never wanted to be signed to a label, even if we had gotten to that point. If what you're going to be on a 10% royalties agreement, so I mean, can you imagine you have to sell 10 times as many songs to make the same amount of money as if you just owned them, if you just sold them yourself. No, you're not going to get near the exposure that a studio or a label would bring you, but you also don't need to sell it nearly as many times. So, and again, it's what are you after? You after fame or you after money? I would rather just be that guy making money kind of off to the side. So, but I'm still looking forward to going to Exotica, just to go and just meet the people I've met before. I'm not going to have a booth this time
Right.
because I don't like being stationary. I don't like being stuck in a booth. So, yeah, so I'm just going to get that vendor. I'm going to sign in as a vendor, but I'm not going to have a booth. And I'll just be hanging out at the booth with you guys and just kind of going around meeting people this time.
I mean, yeah, again, I mean, I do have some like Final Cut school modules that I might be able to send your way. So if I can help,
Oh,
learn
totally,
Final
man.
Cut a little bit easier.
Yeah, yeah. My memory's not great, so keyboard shortcuts, I kind of suck at that. I
Yeah.
got this thing is the best thing I've ever got. This is a tour box.
Oh
Dude,
yeah, I've seen that.
I
Yeah,
love this.
yeah.
What is
Love
that?
this thing. This is a tour box. So it's an editing interface. It's the size of a video game controller, maybe even a little smaller. And you tie this into your editing software, and it's got a scroll wheel, and you roll it, and it even gives you textile feedback as far as how fast you're rolling it. You can put infinite shortcuts on this, so you could probably assign, I'm guessing, 20-25 shortcuts in this one thing right here. And it's got scroll wheels and all kinds of stuff. This changed absolutely everything. I love this device.
Oh yeah.
Know that they're not paying me to endorse them.
They will
but-
one day.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe someday.
Think of it that way.
I want to just switch gears for a minute and go into something fanboyish.
All right.
Did you guys see either one of you see the trailer for the new Captain America movie yet?
I did not.
Nor
I'm
have I.
trying to stay away from trailers right now.
Really?
Yeah, with Deadpool 10 days away, I'm getting like leaks out the wazoo, and I'm like, ugh.
As for Deadpool, this is the only thing for Cap that is shown yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I actually turned on my my GoPro and I'm trying to turn it off. I'm trying to remember how to turn it off. So forgive the interruption.
So you guys
Only
wanna
got
see
two
the trailer,
buttons.
or do you want to skip it?
I mean, I'll take a look at it.
All right, Jake.
Bring it.
All right, cool.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
I thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
Sir, your inner circle has been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to.
What if it's a trap?
Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
Looks good, man.
That looks wild. I got marveled out for a little while, so
I mean, we all get marveled out for a little while.
It's easy.
But no, it looked great, man. I just hope, whatever reshoots they did don't mess it up.
Yeah, no, it just went through a shit ton of reshoots. In fact, for all we know, they could do more between now and February 14th, too.
That's true, yeah. They can always
I'm
go
just
back.
surprised they didn't wait for San Diego Comic-Con to drop this. But Harrison Ford is General Ross. Very interesting take to me. Especially since even his voice sounds a little older nowadays.
I mean, it looks to be good. I hope, I hope he's in the role, does the role well. Giancarlo Esposito is saying that people are trying to guess who he is, but it apparently is not who they're guessing. So,
All right,
we'll see.
so all you idiots who are paying $20 for X-Force Ones, ta-ta.
No, but I don't know. I hate trying to be like, oh, is that? No, I just let me see the movie and learn on my own.
Yeah, that's why I'm done looking at stuff for Wolverine and Deadpool for the same reason. I'm like, just give me the movie already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be funny as hell. I think I'm gonna like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I might have to go see it by myself, but I'm still gonna go in and enjoy the movie.
Yeah, well, I've always loved Ryan Reynolds' sense of humor, so he's got kind of that.
I've been a fan of Ryan Reynolds since
Green Lantern. Just
no,
kidding.
No, that wasn't bad. What was the college movie?
I think Waiting was the first time I really saw him. That was the first movie where I really figured out who Ryan Reynolds was, and I saw that was Waiting, and that movie is a classic to me.
The first thing I really noticed that it was him was Blade 3.
Okay. I don't even know if I've seen that. I don't recognize it.
It's not worth watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got Jessica Biel in it, but that's the only redeeming thing in it.
Waiting was still legendary, though. Waiting is just to this day nothing can compare.
So, what are your Jake, what are your thoughts on Project 2025?
You're gonna have to brief me on that. That's like I hate to say I don't get out much. So
Basically, it's all the new right-winged conservative reforms, which
okay.
they're putting all the age verification stuff into, and
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
we got people in the government saying that anyone who makes any form of adult content should be outlawed.
Interesting.
I think
Well,
that's really
obviously,
cool.
I'm not gonna like that. I'll continue to do some research on it. At my level, I might be able to skirt under most of those concerns. Um, but the only and I mentioned before when we were on here with Evan Stone, um, I don't have a problem with parents wanting to try to at least have a little bit more control over what their kids see online. I totally understand that, and that's fair for them to want that. But when you start prosecuting the content creator, um, that's a little different. I mean, nobody's trying to send Philip Morris to prison. Nobody is trying to send Jack Daniels to prison. Like nobody is trying to go after the tobacco and the alcohol industry. Um, but they're trying to go after the content creators because a minor managed to view our content.
And
I think that there's a big
said,
line that got crossed there.
yeah, and I suspect, just like for the reason why marijuana was illegal 110% all this time, was up until recently they couldn't find a way to tax it properly.
Right. And I mean, if you could prove negligence, if you could argue a case for negligence.
Yeah.
But if I have a blocker screen on the front saying my content is for 18 plus, that proceeding, yeah, if I've done that, I've done my due diligence. I can't see through the other end of the screen. I have no way. It's not like you would.
Or we also have no control if you got one smart motherfucking 17-year-old, or
Yeah.
who knows how to get around that.
Right. And so me as a
this is
content creator, I'm
the
going to go
age
to jail
where,
for that.
but you think just because we block something to people under the age of 18, they're not going to be able to find ways around it if they really want to get
Right.
it?
Yeah, we're as a society, we're more tech smart than we have ever been. I mean, you got 14, 15-year-olds that know how to run a VPN now. Oh, you geo blocked your OnlyFans to where it doesn't work in your state. Oh, no problem. I'll just run a VPN and then look you up through that. And like, yeah, this is just stuff that yeah, the average tech knowledge today is just off the charts.
It's no longer going to the newsstand and putting a Playboy in between a Mad magazine and just throwing the money for both of them on the counter and running away.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the idea of prosecuting the content creator, I think, is definitely crossing a line because they're not applying that same mentality to all the other industries. And if there was a universal mentality where they believe that way toward everybody, then they would have an argument. But they're definitely picking on the industry because of the moral standpoint. And justice is supposed to be blind. We're not supposed to have different laws just from a moral standpoint than we do based on a legal standpoint.
I was wondering if and I decided not to show the website just because YouTube doesn't try to be an asshole to me.
Right, I understand that.
But have you ever heard of something called Spec Match?
No, I have not.
Basically, Spec Match is supposed to be if you're looking for fresh talent or you're looking to cast something
Okay.
adult realm that you can put a casting notice up.
Okay.
I haven't played around with it much yet because just life has gotten in the way a little bit.
Right.
For both of us since the last time we both been hanging out.
I might have a look at it. I'm not in that market. I'm more, and you and I talked about my approach. A lot of times, Snapchat is where I find most of the models I work with. And it's based on a connection. It's based on just getting along. It's based on clicking. And I'm at the point where I'm too old to film with somebody I don't really enjoy being around. So which is why I haven't gone through traditional casting. but it's awesome that it exists. I'm definitely gonna have a look at it.
Yeah, like I
Because
said,
I might need to have a second look.
I'm toying around because the worst that will happen is I'll get my $5 to $10 refunded.
Yeah, exactly.
Thinking
Um,
of putting something up on Craigslist.
yeah, there you go. I thought I thought but didn't they shut all that down?
Yeah, but you can still put up stuff. They still have a creative services thing that you can put hey, I'm looking for a model, blah blah blah, and not be
Oh,
as
okay.
descriptive.
Right, right,
It'd just be like, hey, if you're not comfortable working with, in, or around adult materials, please do not respond to this ad.
right.
This gig will be dealing with adult material,
Yeah,
with adult material language and situations. Once again,
right.
if that offends you, please do not reply to this ad. And you'll still get like 50 people responding to it anyways because no one reads a fucking thing. Whether it's Craigslist, eBay,
Yeah, yeah,
whatnot, Etsy. No one reads a classified ad anymore. They just respond to it.
right, right. Yeah,
That's the reason I'm not putting that. If you put in the ad, you're interested in the gig with nothing else, but I'm interested in the gig, I will make fun of you on my YouTube show. Here's the link.
yeah,
One
yeah. There you go.
two out of every three responses will be like, I'm interested. And I'm
Well, and
like,
that's why. See, Exotica was the same way for me. Is you go there, you meet somebody, we get along, we have a conversation. Like, okay, she's really cool. Like, we had a good conversation, and then that's when I'll talk about shooting content. Um, because I just want to enjoy being in the room with you. To be honest, that's always
same
been
here.
my rule.
I mean, I'm there to is get as much content as I can for the podcast.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, you know, I in the last over 13, 14 years, I've been able to turn people that I were fans of and watched into friends
right.
that I get to see once or twice a year.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, you know, I mean, it really is a great event. And the advice that we're giving here works for any type of convention, whether it be a music festival, a film festival, a Comic Con.
right.
Now that we're in convention season in San Diego, Comic Con is only next week.
Well, and what I realized, and not to go back to the time where I was there with my booth as an entertainer and as a vendor, but the first time I went there as a content creator, as an entertainer, but I was on the fan side of the table. So, I wasn't a vendor. I was that I had the consumer VIP pass on, and then you realize you can't talk to somebody about content from that side of the table. And I realized I was on the wrong side of the table, and Alex confirmed that. She's like, absolutely, you were on the wrong side of the table, and that's why you're not going to be taken seriously. So, yeah, so it is. It's the same. You're in fan space and you're in artist space, and
Yeah,
yeah, you need to be able to cross that line. You need to know when you need to be on the artist side
Alex,
of the table.
many years ago, gave me the greatest advice.
She's so wise.
Oh yeah, I was like, okay, should I? She's like, and she says, milk your handicap for everything it's worth.
There's yeah, why not?
If that's gonna be the what?
God damn it! Why didn't I get that advice?
Because that's kind of I specifically asked the question. It's like, hey, do I exploit the bonus actor since I can't hide it anyways? And she's like, hey, let's people let their guard down for a minute.
Yeah.
Use it.
Well, I mean, you can use it as an asset.
With a respectful manner.
Right, of course, of course.
It's just like, hey, because your thing is about being successful and making money. At the end of the day, hey, Commission for the Blind, remember me? I have a point I have a point I'm trying to prove.
Yeah.
That blind people can do anything they want, including this.
And that's awesome. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, you don't want to call it playing a card, but at the same time, if it presents you opportunities, then take them, and don't feel guilty for taking an opportunity.
No,
if
no, man.
No,
So it's just like, I also, as far as this, because I also think this is one of the few events as a visually impaired fan I enjoy going to the most.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've been to AVN, I've been to San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con, you know, Night Moves, pre-pandemic. One of these years, I want to make it to ThickCon.
Right.
I
I
just have
can't imagine what San Diego Con is like now. I heard it's just last I heard of the total zoo.
It is last year because of the strike. I heard it was great.
Okay. Because I just heard it just got so cool kid out of control that it wasn't even worth going anymore.
2009. I went in 2019 for the first time in almost 10
Yeah.
years. And 2019 was the year before the pandemic. I'll never forget. There was a wait for the Rick and Morty panel.
Yeah.
There it was an hour and a half wait in the handicap line, even.
Yeah.
And even the people in the handicap line were getting cut.
At that point, is it really worth that? I don't know. I can't imagine it would be worth it. I'm not a big fan of crowds.
One day at that con, we did nothing but hang out and watch panels because it was the best thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And you didn't have to,
I mean, you pretty much pick one line, pick one table, and you stand in it all day, and that was your con experience. I'm good.
You know, there was one thing. There was a 3.5 hour wait, but I was really happy with it because it was an autograph session with the Justice League cast.
Okay.
So it was at Cavill, Affleck, DeGal.
Okay.
And it's like, I wound up getting posters and stuff signed.
All right. Well, that would be cool. I could see how that'd be a once in a lifetime experience. But.
Yeah. At that point, I rented a wheelchair for that.
Yeah, and I couldn't. I'm not sure I could imagine. I don't know.
Like I San Diego, it's like I said, just like with everything else, it's a hustle. You pay your dues.
Right.
And there are people that I know that have been going there since the early '80s who never missed none of that.
Well, it reminded me when I was a singer, and I auditioned for The Voice. I'm never going to do that again. Never, ever, ever. Because, they have 3 sessions in one day in, 3-4 cities. And there was, I think they said about 25,000 people all jammed in this one big warehouse building. And everybody you just stand around waiting and waiting and waiting all day. And then you get in there and you sing and you do your thing. But when you think about the statistical odds, and I found out, well, I've got a unique look. I've got a unique sound. I was going to be this, so I thought, well, maybe better than average odds. But they're just absolutely staggering. And then, I would say my performance was probably a 7 or 8. I think I did well, but not great. There were people in the same room that were 9s and 10s who did better than I did. And then when I watched the show, there's a 5 or a 6 on there whose grandma has cancer. And then you realize, okay, well, there's very specific things they're looking for. And, your individual talent is a percentage of it, your abilities. And so just I decided I'll never do it again. And then when we were all waiting to go into the room, and I learned, I think, honestly, I'm glad I went to that audition for The Voice, because some of the best advice I got for the the entertainment industry in general, whether adult or music or whatever, the dude, we were about to go into the room and he says, let me tell you something right now. He says, if you make your own content, he's like, I'm a movie maker. And he says, I'm working on my movie right now. And he says, I'm so famous, I got to tell you who I am, which is, a big joke out there. But he said, you don't need the people in that room. He says, those people in the room waiting for you, you don't need them. He says, just make your own stuff. Just get out there and do it. You don't need these people to get you where you're going to go. And it seemed counterproductive for the staffer to say, hey, you don't need those people. Basically kind of let the wind out of your sails. But it was actually really profound. It's like, it's true. I don't need those people to make music. I don't need those people to sing, to record. And it's the same in the adult industry. You don't need these studios now.
Actually, in today's day and age, the barrier to entries weren't what they like 20, 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
If you have an iPhone and you have an imagination,
you can be in the business.
You can do whatever you want.
You don't need to hound browsers in Naughty America, and these people are awesome. These studios are great, but you don't need them. I mean, you can just go straight into the business.
You have an iMac with Logic Pro, you're pretty much set.
Yeah.
My dumbass will just buy every single plugin I can. But
Right.
I would definitely recommend the Waves Gold bundle if you're doing music. It gives you a good amount of plugins.
Okay, because I use Logic for the music, but I don't do my own
Yeah.
mastering for music. Because I can't stand the sound of my own voice, so I can't process my own voice.
Sometimes I can't either, but
Yeah, so I got to have somebody else do it, and
I'll mess around and mix and stuff like that. But I'm not really going like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
see, video editing makes sense to me. I can do that, and I'm actually getting really good at video editing, and I really believe I do better than a lot of people in the industry. A lot of the content I'm seeing out there. I believe I'm editing better than that. So video editing makes sense to me. Audio, I just don't have the ear for it as far as hearing the frequencies and all that, and I'd rather just send that to an expert. So when it came to the music, nah, somebody else did it.
You got one.
Oh, okay. See, and I can't. I know people who can just
He's
pink a
awesome,
room.
man.
I know people who they can just pink a room. They just walk in the room and hear the acoustics. It's like, okay, you need a barrier here, you need something up here.
I mean, no, as long as what kind of mic do you use?
Oh man, I don't even remember. I'm using a Rode mic, which is like a middle of the
Oh, like a Rode NT1?
Yeah, I think I was using the NT1. I know a lot of people say that one
All
sucks.
good.
Don't even try.
As long as you don't worry, we'll talk. I
Yeah.
got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I don't even like doing my own stuff because I don't even like listening to my voice. I don't want to hear it anymore. I just want to record and let somebody else
The
process.
stand-up comedy, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
By the time I'm sharing this, like after it's live,
yeah,
I'll go back and listen to it the first 5 minutes. Like, I hate the sound of who's that blind idiot on there? Kill him. Get rid of that blind fuck.
And singing was so much tougher for me.
His stupid little wannabe motivational speaking bullshit. He's an idiot, that blind Adam.
Well, what I tell when I talk to models all the time, and they think, well, I don't think I look good enough to make content. And there's one clip I watch all the time with Tia, where she's absolutely lovely lady. She's a fan favorite, and she's sitting there talking about how she's just never seen herself as pretty, and that's why she likes shooting with me because she loves the way the content makes her look. But one of the things I always say is, I can tell a lot about somebody when you compliment them. If I compliment someone and say they look great, I can tell a lot about them by how they reply. Because if you just say no, I don't, it's like you've got to remove yourself from the equation. If you're going to be a performer, you have to remove yourself from the equation. What you think about yourself doesn't matter. If they want to see you, and like I can't stand looking at my own content. I'm like, man, I still need to shed a few pounds. I need more muscle definition here and there. It doesn't matter because if somebody else likes it, I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah, you're golden if somebody else likes it.
Well, I'm not giving myself money, so why do I care about pleasing myself?
Right.
So yeah, removing yourself from the equation is the biggest step you got to take in any performance industry. Where what you think it doesn't matter because you're not spending money on your own content.
Yeah, the only time I really critique myself is when what do I need to do to improve as a performer or a content maker.
Yeah. But it has to be realistic critiques. Be realistic with yourself as far as like, okay, I do want to do this differently because I will constantly, and this is the military. They have this. Anybody who's in the Army knows about the AAR, and it's one of the few things I got from my military days that I've actually brought forward. Anytime they do anything, they have to have this mandatory AAR when they sit down and talk it out. It stands for After Action Review, and the things you discuss are what was supposed to happen, what happened, what went well, what do we need to do better, and they don't even discuss whether or not it was successful. Because even if it's a failure or success, it doesn't matter. They still look at it the exact same way. And what went well, what I need to do better, what steps am I going to take to fix the things that I need to fix. I thought it was actually brilliant. I've applied that to everything, including shoots.
I want to thank you for sharing that because you just put a gem in my head for a personal issue I need to take care of.
Well, look it up, the Army After Action Review, the 5 paragraphs of the AAR. And it applies to everything, and it's actually brilliant. And so in my case, last time I went out there, I think I lost some equipment. I need a packing list for all my equipment. I need to organize my equipment. I need to do better because right now I'm in a suitcase that's right at 47 pounds, so I can just barely fly with it. I need a packing list. I need a laminated packing list right on the lid, and that way I know I have everything in the case that I need. And had I not done that whole AAR thing, I wouldn't have come to that point. So it's
That's
awesome.
awesome, Sauce. Like I said, thank you for sharing that. I'm actually
Yeah.
taking that to heart right now.
Yeah, and just it's a way of life. It really is, and it does change everything.
I think I got it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
pulling it up right now.
and that's brilliance. I mean, because the one thing you have to, I've seen some of the dumbest things in my life in the service, but the one thing you have to always give credit is, we're moving over 1 million human beings from one part of the world to the other. The level of coordination has to be just mind blowing, because that's a lot of moving parts.
Changing gears again to something more fun
Yes.
and boyish. Are you caught up with the Acolyte there, Jake?
No, it doesn't exist to me. I mean, I kind of heard enough, and I just didn't want to get caught up in it, and I just kind of moved on. So no, I'm not caught up on
Yeah,
that
that's
now.
the problem when you are so engulfed in like social media, and then you follow the accounts, then things will come up about it, and you're just like, okay, that just took the fun out of it. So
Well, and then what you get to this point where, and this happened with episode 8. I had a really real problem with the Last Jedi. They screwed so much up in that movie, and then it goes back to some of the political. Not that I like discussing politics, but if you have a problem with something, then you're immediately counterattacked with, well, this is why you have a problem with that. And instead of you having a valid problem, instead you have a valid concern, instead people are picking apart your motive for having that concern. And I got to the point where I got tired of being judged for just having a problem with the direction they're taking Star Wars. Just simply speaking, I was getting attacked. Well, that's because you're this, and this is why you don't like it.
yeah,
No, I told you why I didn't like it, and you didn't even listen to that. You heard something else. So I to that point, I didn't even want to be involved in the discussions anymore because they just got so vicious. I mean, and I don't like having personal discussions. Stick to the topic, attack the topic, not the person.
Oh, exactly.
And so yeah, I haven't been following it, and just because if I watch it, I'm gonna have an opinion, and if I have an opinion, I'm gonna get shut down. So
yeah, even if you have an opinion, there's somebody that's gonna think you're wrong about it, and I'm like, okay.
Well, and let's face it, I represent a demographic that is not too popular right now. It's just white Gen X dudes. Let's face it, we're not really popular right now, and that's fine. I get it, but because of that, at the same time, I keep a lot of my opinions to myself these days.
Sometimes you have to.
Because like it's like that in every form of with everything in society right now, where no one wants to have a civilized debate or a civilized conversation. It's
an
attack, or you're evil because of X, Y, and Z, and blah blah blah.
Right.
It's like, no,
and it's
man,
personal.
This movie just sucked, or this show just this is I didn't like it. This is why I didn't like it.
Right, and then I think it was a meme. It's like, okay, well, I hated the movie. You liked the movie. Well, I'm glad you found joy in it. I didn't, but hey, I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that. But that's a lost art. So,
exactly.
And I don't have room in my life for that kind of energy. So, I usually just kind of dip out of those discussions.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, but I am rediscovering one of my favorite things from Star Wars. The old school animated Ewoks and droids cartoons.
Okay.
I
barely remember them. I remember them from my childhood, but
yeah, like I said, they're so 1980s, and they don't really age 100% well.
Right, of course.
And that may be the animation style a little bit, because it looks like everything else from that time era. But
Right.
outside of that, I thought they were the most relaxing, most enjoyable stuff I've watched out of old school Hanna-Barbera to get back in a state of, everything's gonna be okay. And,
Yeah, get you back to your happy place. To
yeah,
me, it was watching the when I was deployed. Actually, I bought the bootleg of the entire Transformers show, the entire original animated one, and that took me back to simpler years. And I remember coming home from school and waiting for GI Joe to be over so I could watch Transformers. Because I didn't like GI Joe, but I had to wait till 4, so Transformers would come on, and I just remembered so many of the shows, and I remember that was my escapism, just to watch that whole series, and it was pretty cool actually.
hopefully if all the stars align this week, I may actually get to meet Pierre Cohen, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, that would be cool.
Optimus motherfucking Prime.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Because yeah, he's and it's so cool that they had him in there. And I remembered, when they did the live action, hearing his voice, I was like, yes, they got him. Because you couldn't have anybody else for Optimus Prime. You couldn't.
Oh yeah. The fact that he's been pretty much been the voice of Optimus for everything is pretty sweet.
Well, and that's why I like the later Transformers movies, because they finally started appeasing the guys my age who were raised on Transformers. It wasn't a new thing to us. And when Bumblebee came out, I thought that was so cool because the original retro Bumblebee, he was an
I
actual
still have to go
Volkswagen
back and
Beetle. It was so
watch
cool.
Bumblebee.
Yeah,
Just one of those
Bumblebee
movies.
was cool.
yeah, because those are my people, the original, and then you had the original Optimus Prime, who was a Freightliner. He wasn't a Peterbilt. That part was cool. I enjoyed that. But that's just nostalgia, I'll admit. Doesn't mean it's a good movie. It just means I liked it.
I actually want to show you guys one of the coolest things I found on YouTube. This is from 1987. It's the intro of the first time they showed Empire Strike Back on TV.
Okay.
And I am surprised they got James Earl Jones to do this. This is amazing.
All right.
Tonight, on network on NBC, we intercept your Earth broadcast in the name of the Galactic Empire.
Welcome. Through this intergalactic broadcast, your planet and thousands like it are witnessing the glorious victory of the Galactic Empire. Tonight, we will finally crush Luke Skywalker and his Rebel Alliance. This time, there will be no escape from the dark side of the Force when the Empire strikes back.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I remember that.
Like I said, I didn't remember it either, but
It was cool.
I was just like scrolling around on YouTube, and that came up, and I was like, I just gotta show you. Knowing that how much of a Star Wars fan you are, I just had to show it out to you.
That's like, well, and James Earl Jones, I saw that there was a documentary, and he was talking about how when he landed that role, that he has a stutter, and that's why he didn't think he was going to be an actor, because he stutters. And it's like, man, he's got one of the most famous voices in Hollywood, and this dude's like, no, I stutter. Like that's nuts.
And just think, in several spots, he's like the voice of a generation.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
See, between the CNN ads,
Yeah,
the early '90s, AT&T, and this.
yeah, and I just think of Conan, the original Conan and the Barbarian. So when I think of James Earl Jones, I think about the original Conan, which was awesome.
I haven't watched that in years. I haven't watched that in a good 25 years.
Yeah. Well, I tell my kids, I'm like, that's Darth Vader. They're like, no. Yeah, that's him. Just like when we watched the Albert Finney Scrooge from the '70s, you're like, hey, that's Obi-Wan, that's Alec Guinness,
Wait,
and they're like,
who's
no,
in the '70s Scrooge?
yeah, it's Jacob Marley.
I have
Now
not
you
seen
have to
that
watch it
one
again.
either.
Yeah, the musical, the '70s, the Albert Finney version.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Jacob Marley with all the chains and all that. That was Sir Alec Guinness.
I have to go check that out. I haven't, like I said, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was so bitter. I mean, he died a very bitter man because it's just he really regretted how successful Star Wars was. He hated Star Wars. He hated being known for Obi-Wan, which is kind of funny because Ewan McGregor has done such an amazing job with Obi-Wan, and he pays so much tribute to Alec Guinness, and that's why I respect Ewan so much because a lot of actors want to take the role and make it their own. Um, like Hugh Jackman did that with Les Miserables, well, with Jean Valjean, because the original Broadway actor even told him because he's on that movie as well, the original Broadway actor that played Jean Valjean. Um, and so Hugh kept trying to talk to him and get advice from him, and he said, "No, stop asking me for advice." He says, "You need to make this role your own," and he definitely did. Um, but Ewan McGregor, on the other hand, this role always points back to the legendary Sir Alec Guinness. So Ewan really took, I mean, if you notice, he took great steps to stay within those parameters and to point everybody back to Alec Guinness and not try to steer you away to Ewan McGregor. And
Oh, yeah.
I respect him so much for that. He did such a wonderful job with Obi-Wan. I'm really impressed with that.
Actually, that was one of the out of all the recent batch of shows.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite.
Well, and they say no matter what you think about Star Wars, nobody's mad at Ewan McGregor. Like nobody's mad at him. Everybody universally thinks he did an absolutely amazing job. I thought that was awesome. But I love that his humility. He keeps pointing you back to Alec Guinness because Alec Guinness is the original role. So it's cool that he's not trying to take it away. He's a good enough actor that he doesn't have to try to steer it away and to make it a Ewan McGregor role, which is cool.
Actually, I also say the coolest thing for Star Wars coming out, I don't know if it's out yet, is the latest Lego Star Wars movie.
No, I haven't. I want to check it out.
Basically, they actually finally canonize Dark Jar Jar.
Okay.
They
So
have
it's
to do this one
official.
line where he's talking about taking over the galaxy.
Yeah. Nice. Because they needed to. There was so much talk about it. And honestly, the Lego Star Wars series, they were hilarious. They were really hilarious. Games of humor was awesome. And the Lego movie I thought was epic. I thought the Lego movie was hilarious. I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah, like I said, one of these days, just for straight up cosplay, I'm gonna get someone to do me a new Slave Leia shoot.
Yeah.
That will be out September 13th
September 13th. Okay.
on Disney Plus, apparently.
Okay. That I will check out. Because I haven't, I don't have a Disney Plus subscription anymore. I mean, once Bad Batch ended, I deuced out. So that might bring me back, at least to see that. And then we'll see.
I was tempted to do it after X-Men '97 for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I watched too much of the vintage stuff, and just having it all one place.
Yeah. Oh, it was really nice to just have everything right there. It was absolutely.
Like I said, nice. Until I eventually just remind myself that my for-do list just buy the portable DVD player.
I have.
I'll just go back to physical media eventually.
I have the original before the special edition. I have the original VHSs of the trilogy. The pre-special edition ones. So that's pretty exciting. So
That's awesome.
I'm curious to check it out.
Actually, did someone actually put the pre-special edition from a VHS rip on the Internet Archives?
I'm not trying to be sued by Disney.
No, it's already up there.
Okay, yeah, because
doesn't have access to a VHS or
right, because even Lucas went to great steps to suppress that original version because that wasn't his vision, and I wasn't mad at him for all the work. I didn't like it, but I wasn't mad at him for it because he's like, well, this is what I always wanted. I just couldn't do it back then. So you can't blame the guy for making it what he wanted to be all along now that he has the technology to do it. And I had to kind of get myself out of the equation for that. It's like, that's fair because it is his story and this is the way he wanted to tell it, but he couldn't at the
I'm
time,
not
even
gonna
though I didn't
complain because I
necessarily
made
like it.
so much money in '97 on Star Wars action figures and comic books and merch.
Yeah,
That I'm gonna be like, I have no problem with the special edition.
I still have an entire attic full of that stuff. Stuff that I never sold, I sat on, and now it's worthless, to be honest.
Some of it's worth good money.
Some of it, but most of what I have is all just worthless.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, the stuff I
like,
was paying $10 to $20 each for, and now they're worth about $3. So maybe when they're 50 years old, they might be worth something. But all these stuff in Protect cases, and they're all sealed up in boxes. I do have the autographed Greedo though, and she passed recently. Um, um, so I have one of those that's been autographed, and yeah, she recently passed. So I'm gonna hang on to that, obviously.
yeah, like I said, I was an idiot and they get anything autographed by Carrie Fisher when I met her.
Yeah.
Thank you, Javits. Thank you, ATMs at the Javits Center. No, it never fails. At least once a year at New York Comic Con, there's always someone I want to buy an autograph from.
Right.
It's cash only.
Yeah.
And that's the point where ATMs don't want to be fucking idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. You get that right. I get it.
I did that with that, and that was the year. That was the year I did it for William Shatner and Carrie Fisher.
That would be cool. Yeah, I've never gone to a con and paid for an autograph, but so I would just go on eBay and I would buy the autographed action figures, the ones that somebody else paid for. And then I would buy them. So I have a handful of them, but yeah, and then so that one of Greedo, and now that she's passed, Maria, what was her last name? I forget.
I forget her last name at the moment.
But yeah, so she passed recently. I'm kind of glad I got that one when I could. Because I'm sure it costs a fortune now.
Really, I haven't looked up in a while.
Yeah. Well, I'm not that person that's going to scalp it because she's passed, so I'm just sitting on it. Just going to sit on it for a while. Yeah. One of these days, I'll open all that stuff up and see what I have, see if it's worth any money. I know I have the theater edition Luke from, I think, 96.
Yeah, that was the one that was the giveaway they did on opening
night.
The
giveaway, and they're actually they're worth a lot of money now because whatever company made those didn't seal the bubble on right.
Nope.
So they did a really poor job sealing the bubble, and then so the bubble was falling off. Just with half the times, even at the theater, they were already falling apart. So if you have one that's got the original seal on it that hasn't been resealed, yeah, they're worth a lot of money. Yeah, well, I think I have 3 or 4, and I stuff T-shirts in the star case just to cushion the bubble so it doesn't pop loose. Because I bought one where in transit the bubble came loose, and I told them no, dude, this is. Yeah, they really were. So that particular one.
I remember back in '97, those things were the day after they came out. There were comic book stores in my area.
Yeah.
Willing to pay you like $75, and they were putting them on their walls for $150.
Yeah.
But now I think they settled in like the $30 to $50 range.
Yeah, so I thought they were pushing 100 now. I thought if they were still sealed, I thought they were pushing 100 now, going back up there. But either way, I won't take it out of my attic for another 5-10 years easily. So we'll see.
And now I just want to share 2 pictures with you guys on my IG. I just recently put them up there. 2 of my favorite moments of fanboydom in the last 20 years. First one is a picture of me with Adam West and Burt Ward. This was Rhode Island Comic Con 2013.
Cool.
And just shout out to my
question.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Adam West is with the Batmobile.
Yep.
All right, I gotta try to download it and flip it because it's upside down.
Oh.
Just wanted you to know.
Son of a bitch.
It's okay. Fuck. Can I not take it off Instagram? That would suck. That would really suck. Shit. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? And I take it to here. 1 second, I'll figure it out.
All right.
Yep, you're good.
You know, maybe when I had my reader take the picture, it was taken. That's weird. Thanks for
It's
bringing
all
that to
good.
my attention. All right. You know, so how's the housework coming along?
Well, with me, I'm making a little bit of progress. This heat was just scorching. It really was. So I didn't get a lot of work done, but I can't wait because I'm down there now. Because I do a little bit of eBay reselling and stuff like that. So my basement area, my creative space, I'm finally starting to get that cleaned up, and that is so motivating because now I'm gonna have a 15 by 50 space, nothing but creative space, and so I can actually film videos, skateboarding. I mean, I could do, green screen elements. There's so much I could do now. Um, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm looking to redo the bedroom/office, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking of replacing the twin bed with a recliner. Just
Yeah.
have the maximum amount of room.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I totally get it. I'm really excited. I don't know that I'll be filming content down there, but who knows? Who knows what I'll be doing? But I'm just excited to have that space because I can just work around with creative projects, and I have so much room. I can finally put a movie camera on a dolly and roll it around and get different. I mean, I'm so excited about what I can do with that.
That's
And I
awesome.
got 10-foot ceilings, so I mean, yeah, I'm definitely stoked. Other than that, it's just been hot. I haven't
Yeah,
really gotten a whole lot done.
it's just like wicked hot. This week I haven't even really stepped outside all that much. It's just been.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I hope it'll be cool enough because my local comic book shop, Zap Comics up in Wayne, New Jersey, is
Yeah.
doing a signing with Holly Cho, the voice of Jubilee from X-Men '97.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And I want to introduce myself to see if I can set up a podcast interview for a future episode.
That would be cool. But yeah, I'm excited about Exotica. I'm excited about Jersey because that was it's been a year. It's been a year since I was there, and a lot has happened. I now have a more focused direction because I told Alex the same. It's like, well, I'm not really sure what direction I'm going to take here. I'm not really sure what my path is yet. And so just reflecting on this first year I've been in the business, like full time in the business, not just kind of skirting around the fringe. Yeah, so I'm excited to go back this time. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
This is the one event that out of everything this year that I'm 100% committed to.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything else due to personal issues and health that I've either questioned or to made up my mind last minute. This 100%. I can't wait for it to happen so bad I can taste it.
Well, this is what I got to figure out. I was even talking to Rob about this as well. Like, I would love like one of the days maybe to actually just walk the event in full character of Lebowski, and like full character, walking around carrying a milk jug, carrying a gallon milk jug, or and then having just the full garb. But the thing is, yeah, it would be funny, and I'm just gonna have the thickboboski.com on my shirt, on my V-neck T-shirt. But at the same time, you don't want to be the one walking around Exotica looking like a bum.
Yeah.
So, like, is it memorable or is it good for business though? Because it's not attractive. So that's the tricky part.
That may be funny for about 2-3 hours.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Just for a little bit. Because you can't exactly book somebody for a shoot. You can't talk about doing booking when you're out there looking like a bum, wearing a dirty V-neck T-shirt.
There may be some people under the age of 30 who aren't going to get the reference, too.
All right, we have the Adam West photo up. Sorry, that took a little bit.
Not a problem.
There you
Thank you
go.
for working your magic, sir. But yeah, this is one of my favorite moments. And
I
I'm
can
so
see
happy
that.
I did this because he was still healthy at this point, Adam West.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's actually my friend who's recovering in Morris View rehab at the moment from his car accident. That's his Batmobile in the background.
Shit.
Cool.
And we actually had this at Exotica in 2012. We had the Batmobile there.
Oh, nice.
So
And that's a replica. That's not the whole. That's not the studio
yeah,
version.
it's a
is it?
replica.
Okay, I gotcha.
It's actually done from a kit.
Okay.
There's a dude out in Ohio. He's called the Batmobile Builder.
What is what's the kit based off anyway? Is that based off a Chevelle frame or what was it based
It
off of?
is based off a 1955 Charger, if memory serves me correct.
Oh, okay. I'll be damned.
It's basically a lot of people also use that 1950s Lincoln Town Car as the basis
Okay.
too.
Interesting.
But I think last time I checked, because the Batmobile Builder does kits to the 66, the 89, the Returns, the Forever, and the Batman and Robin. And I think his kits start at like 10G.
That's a lot of ABS.
That's true, but there are people who make a living taking their Batmobiles to conventions.
Oh yeah, and then it's just like with cars, kit cars. I won't hate on kit cars. There are people who build Shelbys for a living, and yeah, they build Shelbys and then sell them for a living. And then there's now what's up?
Where am I? I was gonna say, is the next photo Ghostbusters related?
Yep. And this is the other one that I wanted to show.
Let me work on that one. Wow.
Yeah, this was Ernie Hudson. This is also at the 2013 Rhode Island Comic Con. This is where I feel where I've been very blessed to have friends who have expensive toys.
Yeah.
Enjoy having me at their booth. And this was the year that we had the 66 Batmobile, the Ecto 1, and at the booth, and we had Adam and Bert doing pictures with us and Ernie, and this was probably one of my favorite moments as a fan and a professional. What was this weekend? But my point being is, don't think at an Exotica or a Comic-Con or a festival, there's someone you want to meet and just say thank you.
Yeah.
For their body of work. Just go and do it.
Oh, absolutely.
For example, with the Adam, with the Adam West Burt Ward thing, at that point for that year, I didn't know I'd have him I'd be at the same booth with him at a convention like 3 times in a row that year.
Right.
So I know everyone. I know money's tight for everyone, and I know the economy sucks. But if there's something you want, you can find a way to make it affordable for you.
Oh, absolutely.
If you go to a convention and you talk to the handlers of some of these, guests that are there, especially some of the marketing listers, you say, "Hey, man, I can just if you can spare 1 minute, I just want to say thank you and walk away." 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, "Okay, if you're willing to be the last person in line."
Yeah.
Depending on what you have planned for that day, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I got the Ernie Hudson up right now.
Yeah, that's all I really wanted to show from that.
Cool.
Once again, that's off of the Instagram at the Real Blind Adam. Jake, where can the audience find you online?
Well, honestly, the easiest way is just my own site, thickboboski.com.
Nice.
And then I've got all my links there. It points you to all the places, the X, and then of course Hub and X videos and all that stuff. Even the Snapchat. So, and a lot of times I will. I have a QR code that I keep on my watch actually. So when I meet someone who's interested in shooting or interested in the business in general, just have some questions about. Because I hear it all the time. Well, I've been thinking about going to the business. I just had no idea how to. So I'll just have my QR code right there. I'm like, well, here, scan this and, reach out to me on Snap or wherever, whether Insta. I don't do Insta as much. Honestly, I can't stand how invasive Facebook is. So I know a lot of you guys do a lot of Insta stuff, and then I don't like it. I mean, I'm not a real fan of how invasive it is.
I'm not, because I'm probably on X the most, just because it's the most accessible for technology for the blind and visually impaired.
Okay, all right.
That's the reason that, as much as I'd like to be on Snapchat, I just don't know. I just don't like the way it works with when you're having to listen to do everything that you're doing.
Right. No, I
Also, for
understand
reason,
that.
as much as I would love to be on TikTok, it's the same way. It's just like it's doing music and other loud noises on top while you're trying to figure out how to upload your video, and it gets confusing.
Right.
So
Well,
that's why it's
and
like, fuck you, TikTok.
well, Snap works best for me, obviously, because it's visual. So I can, you can get through the filters pretty quickly and you get an immediate idea who you're talking to. And that's so much easier for me because we're such a catfishing culture that it takes a while to figure out who we're actually talking to. I have people who want to talk about, I'll have people talk about filming shoots with me. They'll commit to doing a shoot or at least claim to commit to doing a shoot, but I can't even get a 10-minute video chat to just discuss the process and all that. It's like, okay, well, I got it. These
Amazon
filtered
style.
pics look great, but and you're talking about shooting and you want to talk business, and I can't even get a 5-minute video chat with you. It's like, listen, I'm not telling you to, It's like, listen, I'm not trying to get any content out of you. It's not like it's just a
It's like,
platonic
this
video
is just a
chat. It's a
business meeting,
discussion,
you know.
right?
It's
It's
a
yeah,
friendly chat.
yeah, and it's like if I can't even get a video chat, then I know you're gonna flake the shoot. I mean, it's a guarantee at that point.
Yeah.
So Snap helps me kind of weed through that, and I got to admit, it's actually been very helpful for that.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
With us. I can't wait to see you in a couple months at Exotica.
Yes, that'll be so badass.
Yep. Exotic Expo returns to the New Jersey Convention Center in Edison, New Jersey, October 25th, 26th, and 27th. I will be there all weekend at the Partido the movie booth. Love you, Ellie and Rob.
I will be there too for a good part of it.
Yep. And as always, JV, thank you again for another amazing week being the man of the chair. Where can the audience find you online?
Oh man, freaking! I am JV Wheels still on Twitter. The JV Wheels on Instagram, TikTok. If you see me dancing, don't judge me. Yeah. Anywhere you can find me. I know me and Jake are probably gonna have a conversation regarding this music stuff because I could definitely help you out with that for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, just hit me.
Absolutely.
But to both of you guys, thank you for an amazing show. I can't do this without you guys. Like I said, quick shout out to a good friend of mine, Miss Silver. I just want to say thank you for the Girl Scout cookies. That was very sweet. And as always, insight to have a vision. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it. Go chase your dreams. You just might catch them. Love you all. Blind Adam out.